hold on. Yes, hi everyone. Welcome to the Knowledge Sharing Place. I thought I had my mic on, but I didn't. Welcome. I'm here today to share some exciting stuff that we've been working on and some new features that I hope you guys will find very useful. And then halfway through the session today, we're going to show you a sneak peek of our new editor, which we are very excited about sharing. So I'm here today with my co-founder at LiveBinders, Barbara Talent, who's in the chat window, and Dean Mance from Mance's Mission out in Kansas, who is going to join us shortly. He's not available right this second, but he's going to come in and demonstrate a couple of the, or at least one of the new features that we have going, and I will be going over most of it. And then Barbara's going to come on halfway through. Barbara, don't forget to remind me and give you a sneak peek of our new editor. So tonight we're going to do a little bit of a different format. You know, you're welcome to continue to ask questions in the chat window, and usually Barbara and Peggy and Dean will answer your questions. But if there's something that you want me to demonstrate, since you know you guys have got our full undivided attention, I'd be happy to have anyone interrupt me with the microphone and say, hey Tina, can you elaborate that further? And I'll be happy to do that. If it's something that I'm not covering already in the presentation, I'll definitely make sure I do that before the end of the session. So let's begin. Let me open up my binder here. Okay, and hopefully all of you can see the binder that I have open. And one of the first things that I'm going to show you is the different ways that you can view a binder. And what I mean by that is there's play mode, which is what you're looking at here. And in play mode, we have the ability to share your binder, whether it's with a link, an email, Facebook, Twitter, Google, or add it to a shelf, or add a collaborator if you own your binder, or make a copy if it's copyable. And then there's also different ways that you can view it. So what I'm going to do is I'm in play mode, but I'm going to turn it into present mode, which is one of the new features that I wanted to share with you today. So when you click on present mode, it makes it more full screen, and there's this little plus icon now. And so if you want to jump back and forth, or if you're looking at a binder in present mode and you say, hey, I want to add this to my shelf, you just have to click on this little icon and it'll immediately bring you back to play mode, where then you can do some other features to your binder, or you can change view mode. And here is the other position that I wanted to share with you. So there's play mode, and in play mode there's stacked tabs, scrolling tabs, and side tabs. So stack tab is the traditional default way that you're looking at the binder, which is in two-dimensional mode, and you can see that I have 3 rows here of tabs, so I have quite a few tabs. But if I want to give myself more space, I can also change it to scrolling tabs. And scrolling tabs actually puts all of the tabs on one line, and you can just click on the kind of transparent arrows to go through each of the tabs. You can also click on these dots, which will also move the tabs for you. And when you click on the tabs, the sub-tabs will appear directly underneath. So if I click on Change Binder Cover, there aren't any sub-tabs here. Here's one with a sub-tab here. Scrolling tab has a side tab, as a sub-tab as well. And then the other option is side tabs. So some of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the side tab view, and you can do that by just clicking on side tabs, and it will display all of your tabs to the left, and if you have a sub-tab, it'll open it up. So here I've got LiveBinders Tips and Tricks with a sub-tab binder cover, which is the cover of this binder. I click on another tab. Here's the sub-tab view. And you can tell that you're in the tab position by this little overlap here that you can see. And then if you want to have more full screen viewing, you just click on the 3 arrows here on the left, and it'll cover up the tabs a little bit. You can still navigate with this in full screen mode. So I can jump around to different tabs, or I can just shorten this and then jump to the tab that I need to go to. So I think because of all the tabs here, I'm going to leave it inside tab view for you guys. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up, and I know this can be confusing to some of you, is you can set the default in the editor. And the way you do that is you open up Binder Properties and you go to the section that's called Default Tab Layout, and you can either choose top stack, top scrolling, or side. Now, because you're in the editor can only view binders in the stacked mode, so that's why you might be confused if you see the tabs at the top even though you've made that change. So just remember that when you're in the editor, you can only view it in the top tab. So like, for example, I'm going to move this to edit mode, and see it brings it back into the stacked view. So if I want to go back to side tabs, I need to just click it and go back, but then I'm no longer in edit mode. So since I don't have the chat window available to me, were there any questions, Peggy or Barbara, on that?
I was just chatting about how if you click on the tab, it toggles open the subtabs. I don't know if you have one there with a lot of subtabs.
Let's see. Oh, I know. The iPad one has a lot of subtabs.
Yeah, so if you click on iPad again, it toggles out of those subtabs.
Okay, so you can see here that I've clicked on the iPad app main tab, and I've also clicked on choose iPad upload icon. So I'm going to click on choose camera or photo, and it makes that pop up. So that's one way that you can tell what subtab you're in. One of the other features that we implemented recently has to do with undeleting a deleted binder. Now, we tried to make it really difficult for you to delete a binder, and the way you do that is you go to your shelf, you click on Options, and you say Delete from Account. And if you click on that, then I don't want to do it here because I need all of these binders. It will ask you, do you really want to do it, because it's going to be gone forever. But inevitably, you might be confused at which binder that you're trying to delete. So if you happen to accidentally delete a binder that you want to undelete, if you go to your dashboard here, let's say if it's closed, you just click on the triangle here, and you scroll down to deleted binders and click on that. It will show you a list of binders that you've deleted in the last 30 days. So here are a couple of copies that I had deleted. And if I want to delete them, undelete them, then I would just click on this link, and it would immediately put it back on my shelf. So I guess I could, how about if I do this one? Okay, so the undeleted copy is back on this shelf right here, copy of Innovate Ed. And that's all you need to do. So if you have any questions, just type into the mic, Barbara or Peggy, but I'm going to move on to the next section here, which is change binder cover. So we used to be able to use a service called ThumbShots, which would take a web page and convert it into a thumbnail. And that service is no longer available, so at least for our purposes. And so we now allow you to upload an image, although we've always been able to let you upload an image. So you can basically have two ways to get a binder cover. One is to use the Flickr search tool and upload your own image. We do stress that you make sure that you have the copyright authorization to use that image, because it does get out there if it's a public binder, and we need to be careful of that. Or you can use the Flickr search tool. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to do that. So let me go to the edit mode. And let's say I wanted to, I'm going to click on change binder cover, and I'm going to add a subtab. I'm going to call it New Binder Cover. And I'm going to click on Upload. So I'm grabbing my image that I want to use. And I'm looking for a folder that I put together with an image. It's a JPEG, so any image like a PNG, PNG, or a JPEG, or a GIF will work. And I'm going to upload it into this tab. So you need to upload it into a tab so that we have it in the database. And then I click on Binder Properties, and I say Update Cover. So when you click on Update Cover, it will look to see what tab you're in, and then grab, if it has a JPEG in there, it will grab that image and make it the binder cover. Now the other way that you can do this is to do a Flickr search. So I often look for flowers, and let's say we pick an Easter lily here. Now all of these images from the Flickr search tool are have Creative Commons license. So then you can feel pretty sure that you're safe in having it as a binder cover. And if you like that, then you click Save, and that'll be your binder cover. Any questions on that?
I have a question, Dina. Can you use the same cover on a number of different binders? And does it tell you it's already uploaded, and do you want to override it?
Right, good question. So let me demonstrate that here again. Let me find that file again where I just uploaded. Let's see. So I'm going to grab an image, same image as before, and I decide, okay, I'd like to use this image. Oops, didn't mean to close that. So I'm going to say Upload. It'll tell me it's been uploaded before. Do you want to override it? Say yes, okay. Then I can use it again. The other thing you can do is go to Insert Media again, where the Flickr image is available, and go to All My LiveBinders content. And it's already preset to all, so you can look at your most recent ads to your account, and you can see there's the LiveBinders 128128. And if you click here, then it will upload a previous image that you've used before. So if you want to grab an image that you've used before in another binder, you can go to your All My LiveBinders content and try to do a search for that there, or you can just try uploading it again, and if it's, recognizes that it's been there, it'll just ask you if you want to override it. But good question. So I saw that Dean checked in. Hi, Dean. And we're going to get to color your binder background in a couple more tabs, so I will hand the mic over to you when you're ready. Okay, so another really cool feature that we introduced, and I'm going to go into stack tabs here in play mode for a second here and get out of the editor so you can see this, is being able to search for content in your binder through tab titles. So we really wanted to get this out there, and so we initially introduced the search feature for tab titles. And you can find any content that you have. Some people have like tons and tons of tabs and subtabs, and it would be great if you could just search and find them pretty quickly without having to go through all of the tabs. And I actually had a real use for it today when I was building this binder. I had moved some tabs around, and I couldn't remember where I had moved it to. So I had done a search for upload icon. As you can see, as soon as you start typing stuff in, a search results tab will be added to your binder. It's not a permanent tab, it's a temporary tab. But then it will give you the location of where that particular tab is located. So it tells me it's in the iPad app tab, which is here, and it's a sub-tab, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So if I click here, it'll just take me directly to that sub-tab. So it's not available yet in the editor, but I was able to quickly go out into play mode, find that tab, and then move it to where I needed it to go. So that was really useful. And if you're looking at some of these really dense binders with great content and you kind of remember the title of a particular subtab, you'll be able to find your material that way. So we're really excited about that new feature. Okay, great. If there's no other questions, I'm going to go on to the next feature that we had, which is the Android upload feature for our Android app. We have a small app on Android devices, and I'm going to move this into the side tab view. Hold on a second here. I'm not going to demonstrate it because I don't have an Android device that I can connect here with you, but it's pretty simple. We have the ability for you to quickly go to your LiveBinders account when you're in your Android device, like your Kindle Fire. We can also let you, if you're browsing through the web, you can also add a web page to your binder through your Android app by clicking on LiveBinders. And now you can go to your image gallery on your device and add a photo to your binder. So that's another way to add images into your binder. And the way to do that is, if you've got the app already installed and you're already logged in, go to your gallery, select the image that you want to add to your binder. You click on the little share icon that's usually got the 3 little nodes, and it's over on the left of your screen. And then you just select LiveBinders. And then what it will do is open up LiveBinder It, which many of you are familiar with. I'm going to be demonstrating the new look for it in a second here. And then you can add the image to your binder, just like you normally would for LiveBinder It. In fact, why don't I just skip to that right now, since the next one on the tabs is color your background, and then I can hand that over to Dean. So here we go. I'm going to here is the tab on LiveBinder It, and I'm going to click on LiveBinder It up at the top here, so you can see. Hopefully, you can see this window. Let me know if nobody can see the new LiveBinder It window. So I clicked on the LiveBinder It window, and we kind of streamlined it to make it a smaller page, much more mobile friendly. So you can see that it took the link to this binder because I'm in the binder. It grabbed the title of the binder. I put it in the tab title, although I can edit this if I want to. I can add a comment to the tab. It would show up directly underneath the tab as a tab title. And then I can pick my binder down here, which many of you know from using LiveBinders It, and then I can either have it be a main tab or a sub-tab. And then I click on Add to Binder. So one of the neat things about LiveBinder It is that we use it in our Upload Manager, and I wanted to let you know that some of you don't know that you can upload multiple documents into a binder. You can also add uploaded documents to your binder after you've already added them in. And so this is the interface that's on our iPad app, but it is very similar to what you see on your website. And this little link right here that says Add to Binder, when you click on it, it launches LiveBinder It. So if you haven't already installed LiveBinder It, I recommend that you do that so that you'll be able to take advantage of the Upload Manager. And that's another item that I'm going to share with you here. I think it's right here, Upload Manager tab. I mean, if you want, I can just jump to that right now. Shall I do that? Yeah.
Sure, do that. That would be great.
Okay. So again, Upload Manager is located in your dashboard. You just look for My Uploaded Files, and you click on that, and I'm here in the LiveBinders account. So when you're ready to upload a bunch of files, you can click on Upload Your Files here, and it will open up a little window. If you have the subscription service, which lets you upload private documents, you would make sure you mark this here so that you can make sure they upload private. If you forget to do that, you can do that after the fact by looking for your files down here, selecting it, and then clicking on Mark Private, and that'll mark it private for you. So when you're in your Upload Manager, you just click on Add Files, and then it would open up your browser. And then you can select the files that you want to add. So for example, you know, I can add this image again and say Start Upload, or I can add another file. Let's see. I want to go to my non-accounting testing documents. And here's a Word file I can add. And then I can do Start Upload. And then that will add it. Obviously, I'm overriding one image that I already loaded. And then anything that's recently added will appear at the top of the list here. So both of these are public. If I want them to be private, I can mark them as private here. And now they're private. If I want to add them after the fact to a binder, I can either click on both of them and then 2 LiveBinder windows will open, or I can just do one at a time. So for example, let's say I add this Word document to a binder. I'm going to add it as a main tab at the end, and then I click Add to Binder. I'm not going to do that here because it's going to ask me to refresh the binder, and I don't want to interrupt that on this live demo. But if there's anything you want me to go over again, let me know. But that's how you would upload, use your Upload Manager. All right, so I showed you the LiveBinder at Facelift. I think he's going to go over custom color tabs. So I'm going to leave that to the very end, and I'm going to go over being able to add an image to your iPad app. So this is really something I wanted to go over with you. It's something we introduced a few months ago, but it's really cool because it lets you size your image. And I know that when you're uploading images in LiveBinders that it doesn't necessarily resize for you. There are some browsers that let you do that. So if you're having a problem with the image and you want it to kind of fit nicely on upload, if you have the iPad and you can get the iPad app, this will make your life a little bit easier. It is a feature that we're working on for the web app application, but it is already available on your iPad app. So what you would do is when you launch your iPad app, it gives you, this is a picture of my LiveBinders account. You can look at all your binders, you can look at all your custom cells, and then there's this new icon called My Uploads. So you would click on that, and then it would open up your Upload Manager in the iPad app, and you would click on this little plus icon, and it will open up a little dialog box that says, you know, either I want to take a picture and add it to my binder, or I want to grab it from my photo library. So in this demonstration, I actually took a screenshot of grabbing an image, and I actually grabbed an image of the Upload Manager here. So when it does that, it says select image size, and you can go small, medium, large, or use original size. So, you know, we use binders to collect a bunch of original images, so oftentimes we will choose this, and it doesn't matter if it's larger than the tab size. But if you do want it to kind of fit in the frame of the binder, then we recommend either medium or large, depending on what you need. And then once you select that, it will show up, as I showed you before, as one of the first items in your list, and then you can select it and then click on Add to Binder, which will then launch the LiveBinder It window within your iPad app. And then just like you would on your LiveBinder It window, you can pick it for a sub-tab or a main tab, and you can choose your binder. Any questions on that? Did I go too fast? Okay,
that
so
was perfect, Tina. I'm learning. I always do learn new things every single time I come, and I think I really know this stuff, but I really don't. I am so glad you're going over this stuff. Lots of tips and tricks that are so valuable. So just keep right on going, and Dean is back with us, so whenever you're ready for his part, just let him know.
Okay, so great, thanks Peggy. Dean, I'm going to keep going through my tabs here, and then I'm going to introduce you to cover the color tabs. I can't remember if you're also going to do the color tabs and the binder background, but you can remind me when you come on board here. So the next section that I was going to cover was copy tab, and this has been a request by our users for quite some time, especially those users who like to create similar binders but don't want to recreate new tabs. So they were looking for a way to copy a tab, not only within the same binder that they're working on, but also into other binders that they own. So it's a great feature, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this binder. So let me switch from slide tab view to the edit mode, which if you remember will open it in the stacked view tab. So I'm going to go over here to copy tab. And in this binder, we're going to give you a link to this binder as we go through as we finish at the end. So you'll be able to go back and read through more details on this at your own leisure. But what I'm going to do here is make a copy of the copy tab. So I'm going to copy this, and it says, okay, you've copied it. Now if you want to paste it, please select paste. So I'm going to paste it. So it pastes it to the left of the tab that you originally worked on. So here's the copy tab that I copied, and here's the original. Now if I want this to be copied into another binder, I click on Copy Tab to Binder. And here's where LiveBinder It becomes useful again. So I highly recommend that you install this in your browser if you have not already done so. And if you need me to show you how to do that, I don't have it in this binder, but I can add it later and I can show you before the end of the session. So again, I could pick a new binder here. I'll pick the copy one that I deleted. And it doesn't allow you to pick the sub-tab, but you can at least get it into the binder as a main tab and then open that binder and later on go in and move it around and edit it to where you want it to go. So it's been added. If I click here, it'll open up that binder and then I can move it around. But just for the presentation purposes, I'm not going to open it today and get myself all confused. So I'm going to close that up. Does anybody have any other questions on Copy Tab? I'm going to delete this one here.
I was chatting with Dean about this. You can only move a tab or a sub-tab to the left or to the right one click at a time, right?
Okay, good question. In fact, I have a section on Move Tab to a sub-tab. If you're using the drop-down menu, then yes, it's going to be one tab movement at a time. If you use the Edit menu and go Tabs, then you can either click Move Left, Move Right, and you can move more quickly. Like I can move this all the way to the front if I wanted to. Do you see how that changed? Or I can move it back.
Yes, that is a lot quicker, because there have been times when I had a tab all the way, or I should say sub-tab, all the way at the beginning of the binder, and I really wanted it to be the last tab, and I was just clicking away one at a time and moving it right, maybe through 20 tabs. So this way it just is faster, but you still can't say move it next to one or to the end or something like that, right?
No, but that's a good point that we can consider for the future. Like you want to be able to say, move this to the end.
Yes.
So you were thinking, oh, just move it to the end, and then I can click one or two positions to get it
yes.
right to go. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Instead of having to go through 20 clicks to get it to the right, and maybe with 3 tabs or sub-tabs where all 3 of them needed to be moved.
I see. So select all 3 and then move it to the end. Okay, very interesting. We're definitely going to take note of that. So the other thing you can do with tabs while we're here is, let's say that let me just create a dummy sub-tab here. Let's say I'm in Copy Tab and I've created a subtab. Let me go back here. Here's my subtab. And I want this to actually be a main tab. So you can click here and say move subtab to new tab. So this is now going to be a new tab, and it moved it to the left of the copy tab. So now I've made a subtab a main tab. Well, let's say that I want this tab to be a subtab again of copy tab. And this one's a little bit trickier, but it is pretty easy and useful tool. You would go to here and select the tab. You can see that these are all the names of the tabs in your binder. And I want to move that subtab back under copy tab. So I'm going to select copy tab, and I'm going to say move to selected tab. So now it's back as a subtab. Or if I want this to be a subtab of another tab, you know, I can just pick another tab here, like more help. And now it's under more help. And you can see that the tab that you're in is slightly larger than the other tab, so that's how you know where you are. But I'm going to move this back to copy tab just to be consistent there. Okay, well, we just covered 2 topics in one. That was my topic for subtab, move a tab to subtab. If you click over here, you'll see that I put in the blog post that describes this even further. So please take some time to take a look at that if you want. We also have it in the help page. Or if you want to contact us at support, we'd be happy to show you how to do that again. Okay, so the other thing that I haven't covered yet that I wanted to was we added another view possibility for your custom shelf. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with being able to create a shelf, but you can organize your binders on what we call custom shelves. You can name them whatever you want them to be, and you can add binders, whether they're your binders or somebody else's binders, very quickly to your shelf. And to do that really quickly, you just go Add to Shelf. It'll pop up a window, and it will show you all the shelves that you've created. So we have quite a few shelves in LiveBinders account. Or you can add it to a new shelf, and it'll give you a way to create a name for a shelf, make it a private shelf, a public shelf, and give you an access key, and give you a way to describe it and give some search terms if you want to do it that way. But one of the cool things about having a custom shelf is that you can embed it on your web page. So it's a way to create a library of resources for your class or for your school. And there are 2 ways that you can view binders. One is either through the standard binder view, which is binders across and down, or you can do it in a stacked mode, which is, or list view, which is just the binder icon on the left with the further description that you can read more easily on the right, and you can just scroll down to view. So our help shelf is like that, so I embedded it in this binder. You can also share these shelves with a link. And let's see if I can go, I don't necessarily want to go out of the binder to show you how to do that, but let me just go here where my shelf is available. So here I'm showing you my binders. And if you click on my shelves, like for example we have a top 10 shelf, if you go over to the left here, we give you the details of your shelf. And then if you want to share and embed it, you just click on Share and Embed, and it will either give you the link to the shelf, or it'll give you the embed code to either a 3x3 binder shelf, a 1x3 binder shelf, or the embedded list. Let's see if I can. I've got the Carla Shin little message here. Hi, Carla. Or you can grab the embed code for the list view of the binders. So let me go back to play mode here. And let me double check that I've grabbed everything. How are we doing on time? I think we're ready to switch over.
Okay, I'll take over application sharing then.
Okay, so Dean, Barbara's going to show the new editor really quickly because I know she's on a time crunch here, and then we'll get back to you on the color background.
I'm not able to grab application sharing right now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so everybody should see the new editor. If you look up at the top of the page, you'll see our editor is no longer the yellow menu at the bottom. It's now in all these buttons up at the top. So if I wanted to add a tab, it's really easy to just click on New Tab from up here. If I want to add 3 tabs, I can do it very quickly and add subtabs the same way. So Tina had just shown you the Copy Move tabs. This is the new Copy Move tab menu. And it's still the same feature. I can move this tab left or right quickly from this menu. And this is over the top of the tabs, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on application sharing, but this is a transparent menu, so you can kind of see the tabs underneath. So if I wanted to take this Welcome tab and move it, you can kind of see it moving underneath there to the end. So add content. We've done a lot of work on this, and this is a very preliminary view of this. I was still working on it today, just right before we started here. So not everything is quite where it's going to be or working yet. But this is where you can add a link. This is the upload a file. So this hasn't changed too much. We're actually working on simplifying it to make it a little bit easier for people to upload files from here. This add other content, we put lots of fun things in here. So we still have the Flickr search. We still have the LiveBinders content search that Tina just showed you. So you can pull up something from one of your previous binders here. We still have the YouTube search. We've added QR codes. So now you can insert a link to a QR code inside your binder. So we've had people request this for presentations that they're giving. They like to start off the presentation with the QR code at the very beginning of the binder, so that people can just snap it with their cell phones and get the link that way. So we have also added Dropbox. So if you have content on Dropbox, you can quickly insert that into your LiveBinder through this menu. And we also still have delicious content as well. Here's also the tab layout. So you can change the tab text layout from here. And I know I'm going through this quickly, but I just want to give you a feel for where everything is. We have the tab settings. Here's where you change the tab color for an individual tab. And this is a feature, I'm not sure this will be in the first release. We're hoping it will, but we'll see. It's tab visibility. So we had quite a few people who wanted to put tabs up there, but they didn't quite want to make them visible yet to everybody. So this is a way to build those tabs and then make them visible as you want to. So for example, if you want to put a test in there at the end, but you don't want people to see it yet, you can, you'll be able to do that this way. So then we have the binder settings, which you've seen before, but this is just in a more simple menu. And I think Dean's going to go through setting the binder colors, but that's it's just going to be here instead. And here's where you set the access and your other binder information. And here's your update binder cover. And then the save and undo buttons are up here where you have really easy access to them. And all of these options are still here, the view options and all the share options. So that's just a real quick look at the new editor. And I will turn this back over to Dean, unless there are any questions.
If you want to get that,
yeah,
get Dean in there.
Over to Dean.
So you guys got a sneak peek. I mean, you can see that there's still some work to be done. That's just part of the process. But if you have any feedback that you want to give us, we'd appreciate it. Any ideas that you may have. But I think what we're trying to do is make it a little bit more easier for you to get content in a binder, to get the tabs laid out. And then, you know, we had always had issues with the PDFs in the different browsers, so we are hoping that this will resolve it as well, you know, conflicting with the edit menu. So we're excited about the new look. And hopefully, I know Susie asked when would this be available, and we're hoping that it'll be in the next month or so, but you never know with testing, and we're trying to add a whole bunch of new features on top of it, so that just takes time to implement and then to test and debug. So hopefully by the summer at the latest. So can you click on the talk button at the top? Do you see in the audio and video window, do you see that little talk button that you have to click on to get the mic to work? If your mic's on, a little microphone will appear next to the word talk.
Okay, now I'll go up to Tools, Application Sharing, and then I'll say Share Entire Desktop. Okay. Now, okay, so is everybody seeing the desktop? Can you see my desktop? Otherwise, I'll share it a little differently.
Yeah, we can see, but we can also see your chat board. I don't know if you can, there we go. Okay.
Okay, I just tapped on it and brought this forward. All right, so what we'll do is I'm going to go into this binder just to show you guys some stuff on the color tabs and all. As you'll see here on the left-hand side, how I have my tabs horizontal compared to vertical, and each tab is a little different. And the big reason I did this is to distinguish in my ePortfolio the different tabs, but also kind of associate a color with them based off of some of the lettering in there. So that you'll see what I've done, and what you would need to do that is if you go into edit mode of your binder, so I'll go up to View on the right-hand side and choose Edit. You'll notice now the binder changes back to horizontal tabs compared to the vertical tabs. And what you'll do from there is a couple things. For example, I could go up to this particular tab. We'll start with my name, click on it, and right here it says Set Tab Color. And in that case, I can go right here, and you could see your different colors you could do. So if I want to go up to name and wanted to change it to a different color, here we'll go here, and now you can see how simple that is. Now one thing, and I think Tina probably already shown it, but to change your tabs up here, which is so nice about this, is if you get a binder and all that you have a lot of tabs or sub-tabs, you could color code these. So for example, if you have, like some students have done, is gone in and set up a binder kind of like a textbook, you might be able to set chapters to be a certain color. So that gives you one idea, you know, a different way or a different purpose for that. The next thing, to change the color back here in the background where it says blue, I could even go right here on the edit menu underneath where it says default tab layouts, because like she had shown before, you could choose your stacked, scrolling, or side tabs. The big reason I also go with side tabs is if there's a lot of website layout. Let me close edit menu. Obviously, if this is a web page, by putting the tabs on the side, this web page becomes taller, which allows you to see more of what you want them to see. So let me go back into view, or edit menu real quick. And what you'll do is right here below those tab layouts, you're going to go set background color. And then again, here's the same color choices. So we could go in and maybe I want to make that maroon. And then notice I can make the background darker and then have all the brighter colors here to really stand out. Now obviously curriculum sites blends in since that's the same color. So one thing to think about, this is kind of like back to web page design, is think about color contrast. What do you want them focusing on? Do you want them focusing on the tabs, or do you want them kind of blending in there? So think of that contrast, dark to light, light to dark on those side of things. So any questions on choosing the color of your tabs or even the background color?
I had a point that I wanted to bring up. We don't allow you to change the color of the font yet. That is something that we know people would like to do. When you pick a color, remember that the unselected tab font color will be white. So you want to remember to pick a color that's going to have that contrast, like Dean said. It is something that we are aware of, but it's not something that we're addressing right away. We're working on the main part of the editor right now, but that is one thing to think about.
Okay, so the other thing I'll point out here to you folks is you also have a set default tab color. So if you want them all the same color, you could choose, again, go in here and choose a single color, choose apply, and then that's going to become the default color. So if, for example, I'll just come in here and say add new tab, and then notice how that tab now is blue. So anything you add after that is there. We'll delete that tab out. And then what we'll also do is here is older color themes. So you could actually see here is their original color themes that they have used in the previous version of LiveBinders. So you could even choose some of the older ones. And that's what's great is you could jump back to the original design or the new design. So that's kind of a quick overview of choosing the colors of tabs and why you might do that. Now, one thing I will also do is I'm going to hit back and let me bring up one other binder and kind of talk about why you want some more of the side tabs depending on what you have. So for example, if I go in to this one, here's a digital storytelling one I've done. Let's go over to a tools option. Now look at all the different tools that I have. Now you can imagine what that would look like if all of the sub-tabs and tabs were across the top. Then all of a sudden your body here isn't as open. So for example, then I might go in here and be able to look at it, and here's the actual Carrizo website, and I could actually interact with it much better than when the tabs are across the top. So that was one major enhancement that Tina and Barbara did that I've actually really taken to, is just because of how in the past you'd have so many tabs and sub-tabs in there.
Yeah, and you're actually a good candidate for using the search tab names. Have you tried using that to find sub-tabs?
Yeah, right up here. So for example, I might go, let me think of one that I can come up with. Let's just say Lego. And then here is the Lego tab, and there it is. Obviously, Lego's changed their website, so that's the problem with big binders. Got to go back and check them every so often. And like here, you'll see meal graph. I have it in here twice, so sometimes I may put it in there and forget. And usually when you folks use LiveBinder it'll come up and say, oh, this already exists. So that gives you another little insight. But that's what is also so nice about the search tabs. is that ability to do that, because there is so much there. And trust me, there's times when I go, okay, I want to demonstrate this. Where do I find it?
Yeah, we've seen that being needed quite a bit, even from us looking through a big binder. And I remember hearing that request by a teacher and realizing, yeah, these binders can get pretty big.
Yeah. Now, let me see if I can make this other thing I was going to demonstrate for everybody work. It worked earlier, but I come home and, of course, you know, audio issues, mirroring issues, who knows. Hopefully here in a minute, my iPad will show up. I'm using an application called Reflector. You could use Air Server if you want. Usually this is just instantaneous, but of course, you know, I'm on a webinar trying to demonstrate something. Okay, so here you guys go. We'll see how much drag this is going to have. While that's stuck on my kids there, I'm going to show you, hopefully, it'll refresh here. What I was doing was I was going to demonstrate to you how to go in to LiveBinder iPad and actually do it, but obviously this thing is going to drag and drag. Oh, here it goes for a little bit. It's taking longer than normal. But just as Barbara was, or Tina and them were showing you in the uploads, when you would go to my uploads, what's really nice is I could take pictures already on my photo roll on my iPad and upload them, or you can take a photo directly through the iPad option. Here it's starting to catch up. I'll give it a moment longer. Okay. That's reacting a little better, but it's probably a little blurry for all of you. Up here in the top left, you'll see an arrow pointing to the left. You have the refresh circle and then a plus sign. So on my iPad, I'm going to touch on the plus sign. We'll give it a moment. And you're going to have two options, camera and photo library. So that way, like I said, what you would be able to do is click on the photo library to upload pictures you already have, and then you could choose camera to take a photo. And what I really like about that is if you're, you know, observing students doing projects, I as a teacher, I could go and take pictures of my students doing this stuff, and then I could upload it and kind of create a binder to go where in class they put their projects. So for example, each student has their own sub-tab to do stuff in a collaborative binder. What we could then do is, yep, there we go. Let me stand this up. And hopefully it'll show me lift it up here in a moment since it's delayed. But this gives you the idea, folks, how you can directly upload through the Binder app from the camera and not necessarily already have to have the pictures taken. So you could be doing this live, or have your students, you know, if they're out doing a project outside, have them take pictures of what they're studying. Or let's say you're at the zoo and you could do that. Now, hopefully this will come in, because I'm doing this real quick again, just to demonstrate what you saw with the upload of the picture on the computer. This is also kind of showing you what to do on the iPad. And I apologize. Usually this thing is quick. And then as you can see here, here's the select the image size, small, medium, large, or use the original size. In this purpose, I just clicked on small, and it's going to upload it. And what I really like is it gives you the dates the times, the size of it. You know, here's the photo file. So just as Tina and them were showing, just click in a box on the side of the icon, and then you can go up here and directly add it to a particular binder. So there's a lot of really neat things to what you can do with that application option.
Yeah, and Peggy brought up a good point too, that you can even add it to your binder cover that way. I mean, once you add it to a tab, the image, then you go back to your app and you open it up in edit mode. You go to binder properties and you just do the same thing that you would do if you were on your web browser. You would click on the tab that you want to make the binder cover and then click on, you know, update binder cover from binder properties.
I'm looking back through the chat in case there's... Is there anything else anybody would want me to show or touch on besides what Tina and Barbara have already done for us? And then I'll stop sharing mine. That way you can have it back, Tina.
The same binder that I demonstrated to you guys, Peggy just showed the tiny URL version of that if you want a simplified version of that binder. I know Michelle just left, but hopefully she'll be able to grab a hold of that link. And also, yeah, you can click on the slide itself and the link will be active. And then you can add that binder to your shelf. So I just have a couple more items that I want to go over. There is a LiveBinder workshop at ISTE coming up in San Antonio this June. And our users, Joan and Janet Gore from J2 Training, are going to be giving the workshop. They did it last year for half a day, and they're going to do it again. And they're going to, you know, show you an overview of LiveBinders and talk a little bit about how, you know, teachers are using it for e-portfolios. So if you guys are going to be at ISTE and you want to get some training in for professional development or whatever, please check out their workshop. And you can go to the ISTE conference website, search for this session number 107 HAO, and you can sign up there. And I'll put this page in the binder. I don't have it there now, but I will put it in there for you so that you can have access to it. And then, Peggy, you have an announcement to make as well.
I'm so glad I got back in here so I could do this. Just in case you don't know, there is a fabulous online conference all day tomorrow from morning to night. It's the School Leadership Summit. It's being co-sponsored, co-hosted by Steve Hargadon and TCAL, and they have some great keynote speakers and tons of presentations, multiple presentations for each hour all through the day. And you just go to that schoolleadershipsummit.com, and you don't have to register. It'll give you individual links to log in for each session that you'd like to participate in, and there will be recordings of everything. So if you can't make it during the day, you'll be able to go back after the conference and view the recordings. So I hope that you'll be able to take advantage of some of those. And I'll drop that link in the chat too.
Okay, great. Actually, this is my slide to say thank you to Classroom 2.0 and Steve Hargadon. Without them, we wouldn't be having this webinar because we're using their wonderful Blackboard Collaborate platform. So thank you, Kim Case, Lorna Constantini, and of course Peggy, who helps us get this together and helps us moderate the chat room while we're giving our presentation. And if you want to find out more about their also give great webinars, very informative. If you haven't already checked them out, please do at live.classroom20.com. And if you guys want to find out more, if you have any questions, let's say you've tried an item that we showed today but you're still having problems with it, or if you come up with any other questions, you can always contact us at support@livebinders.com, and we will get to it as soon as we can. We'd love to hear from you. And then I need to tell you that when you close out of the session today, the Classroom 2.0 live survey will pop up. You just need to ignore that because that goes with their webinars and their classroom. So if you want to get a professional development certificate from us for attending the seminar today, you can do that by clicking on this link. This is a bit.ly link that goes to our survey form, and then we will prepare a certificate for you. So remember, do not click on the survey for Classroom 2.0. You'll have to go into the binder or click here to get the Knowledge Sharing Play certificate. Okay, with that, I want to thank you all for taking the time to come out. Hopefully you guys all learned some more things about LiveBinders, and we'll test them out and be ready for the new editor when it comes out. We're working on some cool stuff, and I can't wait for the next session to share with you. Thanks again, everybody, and take care.